Okay, so food photography. I know a little bit, which I've learned from my brother-in-law, who's a professional photographer, and he gave me this camera. And I think it's what's called a short focus, so it really is only good for food photography. But he set it all up and he told me where to do the photos, which is on this table here because of the natural light. And we always take our food photos in the daytime, and we always turn out the electric lights as well. So that's quite an important point because when I put them into the laptop, you can really see the difference between when the electric light is on and when it isn't. So that was a good tip. Lens cap off, quite important. Battery charged, card inside. But really, it's kind of hard for me to tell you much about settings and things because he set it up, and I'd have to look through notes that he gave me to be able to kind of tell you why it's set up the way it is. But I just leave it as it is. I essentially don't touch it. And then he also gave me these awesome backgrounds, and these are really good because our tables have been painted different colors, and I thought that would be kind of cool for our food photography when I first did it. But actually, it's not great. It doesn't give a good background to the food, and our plates are all black, which I like, you know, it looks cool. He didn't like that to begin with, but then he changed his tune and he realized that the black plates did look kind of cool. So, but they do look better on these kind of backgrounds. So we've got a few like this, and they are literally just like plastic backgrounds, but when you take photos and you only see a little bit of it behind the plate's coming in a minute, it looks really good. It looks like a kind of, you know, rustic wood background. Then we always use some of our plants, which are usually just sitting on our tables, for a bit of greenery. I'm giving away all my trade secrets, and basically you'll start to see that all our food photography looks very, very similar. But I think that's a good thing, especially for Instagram. I read a lot about, you know, you want your grid, your Instagram grid, and all your photos on Facebook and stuff to have a similar look to them. So we try to just make it systematic. We do everything the same here, and then when it goes into the program, Adobe Lightroom, that we use, we also use the same settings there as well, which my brother-in-law kind of helped me set up presets. And so essentially what you end up with is lots of the same look, which is good. It's branding, you know, it is your look. So that's what we do. Okay, so we've got food starting to come out now. So this is our Friday special this week. We need to take a photo of it first so that we can promote it. I'm just gonna grab a napkin and get rid of these plates. Are really cool. They're like melamine, and we love them because they don't break, but they show up fingerprints really badly, which is not great for the photography or service, but we try to keep them nice and clean. So you do have to kind of look out for things like that. The other thing that my brother-in-law told me was about giving some shadow. So we're lucky here with the window because it's at a bit of an angle, and it's also already diffused with the panel. So that's good because we don't have any, oh, you know what we forgot? Oh no, we haven't started yet, that's fine. But we need to turn out the electric lights. Brogan, would you mind turning out the lights? You can just literally switch all 3 switches off. And then you'll see, because already you can see the light kind of reflecting off bits and pieces. And then when the electric lights go off, yeah, then you end up just with that nice natural light. So it's a good idea to have tall things like on one side so that they create a bit of shadow. So I'm actually just going to move that. These are some potato cakes that we're just experimenting with. I'm going to put that there a little bit, and I think that's probably going to look a bit better now. These plants are a bit overshadowing. Don't usually use this tall one actually. Might grab that plant there. It's lower down, yeah. Nice, thank you. Because I'm going to shoot at this like 45-degree angle, so we used to do lots of overhead shots as well as 45, but I never was that keen on the overhead shots. They always looked a bit weird to me, and it could be because our plates are a really weird shape. So instead, I pretty much always do 45-degree angles now and keep it like that. So, okay, little salad. Let's see what that looks like through the lens, which is always totally different to what you see in the flesh. This is another thing, like it looks weird that I put these plants like so close to the plate, like often they're almost touching the food, but when you see it through the camera, it doesn't look weird. And if you have them too far away, you end up with this odd gap. So there's definitely some things about food photography which aren't necessarily real or realistic. But one thing that we don't do with our food photography is all kinds of odd like spraying and sticking stuff in or using fake stuff, because this is food that someone's going to eat. Like we always eat the food that we take photos of. So yeah, it's going to stay edible. Okay, let's see what that looks like. And I keep pressing focus on different parts of the plate because the way that this camera is set up, if I focus here, then the back will be slightly blurred, which is cool, but then I could also focus on the back and then the front will be blurred. So when we take photos of our bagels, it's quite annoying because I have 4 different bagels and I need them all to be relatively in focus, so that can be a bit tricky. But generally with most meals, it's kind of cool to have one part in focus and the rest like a little bit more in soft focus. But I always take both, so I kind of focus in different places on the plate so that then, well, it's kind of hard to tell when you're taking the photo, but then when you're in post in the application, then you can kind of choose which one looks best.